you know what's been crossed my mind lately? Well, I have quite a few things crossed my mind lately. But one of them is, man, so I haven't used social media in like 10 years, man. Like, I stopped in the beginning part of 2015. I think January 1st, 2015 was the last thing I ever posted. And this was like back in the day, I was using like Instagram. And I was mainly just using it to promote my band I was in at the time. Like, it felt like the move, you know? Seemed like that's the way to do it. You connect with people. And, that's the same way now, I suppose. But I remember having an epiphany one morning where I woke up and, it might have been like on my birthday, which is December 31st. And I was like, man, what am I doing, man? I'm just like scrolling through Facebook. I'm reading these statuses I will never remember. Uh, I'm scrolling through pictures that I don't care about. And, this was before like reels and stuff. And I think that's its own beast. That's, to each their own. I don't know, I dodged that bullet, but I remember having the epiphany of just like, dude, if I'm going to read random statuses from Jenny and Steven, like, why don't I read some like books, instead of just like scrolling this stuff. So that's what I did. I started just reading a bunch of books at that time, and that carried on for quite a while. I still read to this day. Just I haven't been as much lately, even though there's a couple books on my back catalog I've been meaning to get to. And man, just the things I've noticed, and I'm a natural like introvert. I like my me time and whatnot. I like, I get drained from being around people all day, being in the office. I get drained. Like at the end of the day, I just want to do my thing, just think some things through, just challenge myself or enjoy something, and sometimes it's chill to enjoy it with maybe one other person. I do like one-on-one time, but groups of people is just not really my vibe. A lot of times, I've done it and I've had good times, but man, as I've getting older, I've realized that I have becoming such an introvert. And I wonder if that plays a part into me not using social media. Like, I don't connect with people that, locally or strangers across the world or whatnot. Like, man, I can't remember the last time I ever left a comment. Like, it would have been back in 2014, just, and that I would only leave comments on like, peers stuff, a little support, like, oh yeah, fire emoji. That was probably even before fire emoji days, to be honest. But, I just like, I don't interact with people that way. And I don't know, as I've gotten older, I'm just starting to realize that I feel like being off of that stuff has shaped me. I don't want to say like differently, like that I found something, because I actually think it's actually more negative than positive. I think there's some positive things. Like, I think I've learned a lot by reading books and going down little rabbit holes that aren't, fed through whatever the headlines are on whatever app you're on. Uh, so pointless knowledge that I'll probably never find people to talk to about. So that's fun. I'll just contemplate it by myself as I try to fall asleep at 3 a.m. every night. That's fine. Uh, but dude, I just realized how different people are nowadays compared to like when I think of like high school, middle school. Like, yeah, people are still like goobers, and Facebook was just coming out when I was like in my later middle school, and there was obviously MySpace. I never got into MySpace. Like, I remember some buddies, they helped me make a page, and I was like, oh, cool, and would show me like how to format it and whatnot. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I had a cool like background, and I had like a My Chemical Romance song on it. And then after we made it, I don't think I ever went on it, man. I don't think I added anyone outside of them. And then one of their friends was this girl that lived in California that was my my younger self's first like whoa, I guess. I don't know, unless you exclude like obviously like school crushes and whatnot. But that was really it, man. And then Facebook was coming around, and that was like a thing for a bit. That's, in a way, that was almost like the first Tinder. Like, you would just like meet people through there and talk with just random people, add people, message. And I guess there was a lot of people to meet, and it was fine when if you had something to promote. Like, at that time, like, I was pretty set on writing that good old metalcore, and that bug bit me when I was young, and that was fun, man. And I just had that epiphany of you need connections. And I don't even feel like it was disingenuous, because I enjoyed talking to people. I had goals, and it worked out. For selling tickets and whatnot, getting people to show up to these janky venues or little bars, and up to the point of like decent venues. Nothing, no like marquees or anything. But if I would have stayed the course potentially, But the main thing is, man, I just realized how different people are nowadays. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if you let's like if you're talking to a new girl, right, and her way of communication outside of like, well, first I'll say like when you go on dates, and these girls start bringing up these topics, and like they're complaining about things that they've seen in the media, like things going on in the news and in the country, and obviously there's issues, and I think there's a lot of like deep issues that actually don't get addressed, but that's okay, Like, I feel like you got to kind of understand where they're coming from. They are being fed this stuff and being like weaponized to argue with each other. Oh man, it's draining. It's draining for sure. But these girls, and it's probably the same with other people too. I'm just my own experience. I'm a straight male, bro. So the strangers I interact with are women, you know, that I meet, every now and again to hit it off. Even though lately I actually feel like I'm going to take a break from women, man. I think it's a whole different topic, but I think it's almost a waste of time, to be honest. But that's a different topic. I'll rant about that a different day. But so, like, I just feel like a lot of interactions with people, it isn't necessarily about like their own unique opinion. It feels like regurgitated top comments or something. And it's like, bro, is this what like NPCs are? It's like, man, I feel like I can't have a genuine, just honest conversation where someone can just, speak their truth, man. But like, just say what they think, and like, instead of just like, I don't know, man. It doesn't feel real to me. It just feels like you hear something enough times that you start repeating it. It's almost like these headlines are like songs. It's like lyrics getting stuck in people's heads, and that's their new idea. And honestly, different rabbit hole, but I actually feel like that's probably part of the plan too. I would imagine some psychology exploits, definitely, right? But dude, even outside of, and also like, so let's say the dates go well and you start like texting and whatnot, they'll send you like reels, like little TikTok videos, but on Instagram. And it's like, it's this meme humor that, like, don't get me wrong, I love me a good joke, I do, but it's like this meme humor that's like anti-humor sometimes, and maybe that's what makes it funny. But man, I not gonna lie, I might be the worst person to show like these reels to, like these little bite-sized. Honestly, I just don't think they're that funny, to be honest. Like, just these little reels where people, it's like, try to be relatable content, where it's like people doing faces to the camera with like these captions where it's like, uh, my hubby when he sees me before and after I put on makeup, like just crap like that, bro. And I'm like, bro, what are we looking at? And why'd you send it to me? It's like, I get it, I do, but it's like, it almost feels sad to me in a way. Or like, this doesn't feel like actual communication anymore. Like this, you're not saying anything. You're just sharing some post that I guess you identified with, or maybe like, yeah, it must be that, right? Like you identify with what they're saying, and that's why they make it, right? Because people are like, oh, they'll feel this and they'll share it because it's like, oh, this is me. I guess. Oh my god, it's making me sad just saying that stuff, man. I can't wait to. I just want to go play some rivals now and get a little escapism. But dude, even outside of girls, this isn't just a girl thing. Like, dude, I've noticed things with like my bros, my homies, where like you go hang out with them, and we're all getting older now, so some of us are just off the grid. Some of us are married, and just, oh, guess we'll never see Connor again. It's like a bye guy, or David. I have this buddy David. He was like, dude, he was my Modern Warfare 2019 2v2 homie, and dude, we'd play like every night. And he was also in like the same friend group, and we'd all hang out every weekend, pretty much, and like, get some drinks, maybe play some like Super Smash Bros, and just like joke around, have a good time. And just one day he just packed up and left and went to Texas because he met this girl. And dude, I've heard from him once since, and it's like, bro, these girls are swooping in like vultures and taking the boys. And but I guess that's outside the point. Maybe that's a different rant for another day. But even the bros, man, I'll go hang out with like a bro every now and again. And like I said, as I've gotten older, I have realized I've become much more introverted. So I haven't been hanging out with homies as much as maybe I should. They invite me. I'm not really into, you know, they're all into like card games right now, which is cool. I wish I could be into it. For some reason, card games make me a little existential. I'm like, bro, you're telling me the card I need, this little cardboard thing that's worth $50, which is essential to this deck, and I need three of them. That's 150 bones for a deck that I'm only going to play with you three guys. It's like, bro, what are we doing? Can I just get a piece of paper and write down what it does? And if I draw that piece of paper, can we just count it? But I don't want to be that guy, so I just kind of remove myself. That's on me. That's existentialism for something that's supposed to be fun and enjoyable, and at least it's in person, so I do respect it in a sense, but for some reason, man, it just hits me different. But besides the point, that's what I'm trying to say is, even with bros, man, like, I'll hang out with them, and it'll be like a chill time and whatnot, but sometimes it just like devolves into like them putting on a YouTube video of, like, let's say Asmongold reacting to like the news, and it's like, why are we watching this? Let's talk. Or let's like play a game together. I just say let's just shoot the shit, but it's like, that's the vibe with a lot of them. They start scrolling their phones, and maybe they show like memes to you while you're in the room, and you're like, bro, what are we doing in here? What are we doing? We're just like coexisting in this room together while you doom scroll, I guess. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's just, obviously not every person is like that. I know some people that aren't, but dude, it's becoming more and more prevalent. And it's like, I just feel like, are people so detached, or did I just miss the boat? I feel like I'm the weird one because I don't feel this type of stuff. Watch whatever stuff you want to watch and whatnot. I'm more of a listening guy. Some, maybe an audiobook. I've definitely dabbled in some podcasts. It's hard to find some podcasts that I really enjoy. I really have mainly just stuck around with PKA since I was like a young lad when I was playing like COD back in the day. And I feel like I just do that almost ritualistically, to be honest. Just having the background on the weekends. But so I'm more of an audio guy. I don't care if you're into the watching Asmongold. He seems like a chill guy. If you're into watching, it's just, I don't know, like, why it feels like everyone needs to get their opinion from another opinion. Is that just me? But I feel like people, like, they almost need the go ahead, like the thumbs up, to say this is okay to think before they think it. Or is it not that deep? Do a lot of people just not have opinions like that until downloaded on their brain? Like, maybe it doesn't even cross their mind anyway. Maybe they see propaganda in a movie or a commercial and it doesn't even cross their mind, but it will if someone else brings it up, and only if someone else brings it up that has a large audience, because large audience means respect, I guess in this day and age, which is wild to me, because if to get a huge audience, you got to cater to the norm, what's sellable, what's easily digestible, what's not too controversial, or maybe your niche is being super controversial. You know what I mean? Like going against the grain. There's a lot of people like that kind of came out of the woodwork that I've, have noticed from peeking my head in every now and again to see what's up, or just being, just shown it by someone. And it's like, oh, this is some, but man, it's just something I've noticed as I've gotten older. I don't know. I feel like an odd one, and I wonder if anyone that stumbles across this kind of feels the same way. Are you guys off social? Like, I just don't really get. Like, okay, so back in the day, I liked YouTube and stuff, and I liked YouTube commentators because it was like you got to hear these guys like just talk, and that was chill. It was like kind of like podcast before podcasts, even though like some podcasts were in like the early stages and whatnot. But it was like little bite-sized podcasts, which I enjoyed. because I'm an audio guy, and but like following, like, dude, like, bless her heart, but like my mom will like know stuff about random people on Instagram, more stuff about their lives than like our lives, like our kids' lives. And it's like, what is going on? And it's crazy. It's like, bro, it it's it just feels like everyone's in on this, man. Like this follow. Like I don't think it's bad to like, oh, I like this guy's art, or I like his vibe. I don't even think it's bad if you like, who they are, or who they present to be, or whatever. It is what it is, man. But just the obsessive nature about it, and like, oh my, dude, this is making me existential. I'm about to just go play Rivals and grab myself a High Life to chill out because it's Saturday night, and I just wanted to rant a little bit because I got stuff on my chest apparently. But man, I there's so many holes I want to go down now. I'm gonna have to start. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm just gonna start ranting in the middle of the night. I mean, it's only like I think it's like 11:30. Start ranting at night. Get this stuff out of here, because man, I can't just have it stir in my head. But hopefully, any of this made sense. The main gist, I guess, was I just feel like people are so different now, and it just doesn't feel. And I wish I could come up with a better word than this, but it just doesn't feel like real, or maybe it's genuine. Like it's hard for people to like. It seems like it's hard for people to like be who they are in a way. And I will say, I get the positive of not being on social media is like I feel like I am very present with people when I do meet them. Be it if the 2-3 times a year I actually get a haircut and talk to the hairdresser, a waiter, what have you, someone at the gas station while we're both sitting in line, uh, like stuff like that. And sometimes like it feels like a vibe that they're like not used to someone like being present with them. And I guess I get that because I don't feel that. So I guess I try to be that with people every time I meet someone, or interact with anyone with whatever it needs to be. And my favorite times of hanging out with homies are when you can have like those kind of real deeper conversations. But man, is that rare. And it really depends on the archetype of homie. It's rare, man. And I don't even know if I'm necessarily correct on this description. It might change in the future, but it does kind of feel like people, they either aren't anyone like maybe they just have their own like who they are is what they consume, and they just kind of embody that, and they don't have original thoughts or something. I don't know, that sounds too mean. I'm not trying to be mean. It just doesn't feel like people like openly express themselves through themselves. It almost feels like they need like some type of shield to do it for them, like a song that speaks for them, or an influencer reel, and they feel this or whatever, and it's something goofy like text on screen, and that some guy putting away his laundry, and he's like, oh man, the days when if I make sure my wife is happy before she gets home, it's going to be a good night. And it's just like an 8-second reel, and it's like, how does this have 3 million views, man? And then you go to his page, and you're like, this guy's got 500K followers. What's going on? You're like, he makes his living off this. It is what it is. Good for them. I mean, they're playing the game. I want to talk about the game, man. That's almost harder to go down right now because I don't want to just keep ranting and ranting. But I think the main point I just want to say is, and I'm curious if anyone else, kind of feels this way. If you stumbled across this and listened to this, the ramblings of a madman for this long, I'd be curious if anyone has also, gotten off of social media and have noticed that it just kind of feels like, and I am blaming the social media because it does feel that way. It does feel like people who are consumed by the social media stuff, I don't want to be mean, but it does kind of feel like NPCs, man. It just does. It doesn't feel like I'm talking to a character that'll give me a main quest. It feels like I'm talking to a villager in a town, and they have 2 lines of dialogue, and it's going to be the same 2 lines of dialogue as another villager in the town right over. It's like the coders didn't really spend time on fleshing this character out at all. They were just supposed to be walking in the background. ah, but yeah, if any of that made sense, let me know, because I'm feeling alone a little bit out here, bro. Which is, I'm a natural introvert, so it is what it is. But I guess I'm just gonna throw out my thoughts out there. Maybe I can form a little group of homies. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But have a good rest of your day, bro. If you listen to all this, you're appreciated. Take care, and do something for yourself and do something for someone else today. You know what I mean? Let's get it.